They can be in this at any moment. They just gotta up their mental game, let their talent speak.
Amazing placement. What a shot.
That was a Yahtzee overhead.
Aspect of mental toughness here that's just different.
I like the body language of all four players.
Oh, look at that shot! Great hands from Kiro.
Hello and welcome to the 2023-24 APTA Tour presented by Volley. We are live from the Short Hills Club in Short Hills, New Jersey, bringing you the 2024 Short Hills Grand Prix, which is the 13th stop on the 2023-24 APTA Tour, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership, the APTA national sponsors, Volley Infusion, and local sponsors, the lead sponsor Corient, platinum sponsors Maplecrest Ford and the New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association, gold sponsors Spiro, Harrison and Nelson, Paper, Ribbon and Wrap, and the New Jersey Flex League, and silver sponsors Club Pilates and Smith Chiropractic. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Patty Hogan and Vera Basanova, bringing you this women's quarterfinal match between the third seeds Ellie Halbauer and Gabby Niculescu, and their opponents Liz Cruz and B. Lopez. Hello, ladies. Vera, could you tell us who's who out there, please?
Of course. Hi, Lauren. So we have a great match coming along. We have in the closer side to us right now, Gabby Niculescu in a red vest and white hat. Her partner, Ellie Halbauer, in a gray hoodie with a red hat. And on the opposing sides, in the deuce court, we have Liz Cruz, black outfit, white visor, and her partner, B. Lopez, on the ad side with bright sneakers, black outfit, no hat. And all main draw matches are regular scoring, best 2 out of 3 sets. All back draw matches will be regular scoring, best 2 out of 3, with the third set a match tiebreaker, which is first to 10, win by 2. The umpire for this match is Greg Robertson, and we're looking forward to a great match.
Yeah, this should be a good one. Halbauer and Niculescu, their only losses this year have come to their new team. They've lost to the top 2 teams in the country several times, Hanish and Zabori and Elliott and Kiro. And it's interesting to see how they progress together every tournament. And Cruz and Lopez are having an excellent season. They really complement each other well. And they're a really fun team to watch, and I expect this to be a fun match.
You know, this is interesting with Niculescu and Liz Cruz, 2 of the highly celebrated women in our game. Each of them have won 3 national championships with different partners, and they both kind of retooled coming into this season. And you have Ellie Halbauer, who played pro tennis, turned pro at age 15. And you have B. Lopez, who teaches over at Orange Lawn Club. And so you have a veteran and national champ teaming up with these younger players who are fairly new to the sport of platform tennis in the last 2 or 3 years. And, it's an interesting pairing. And, Niculescu and Halbauer, they're stars on the rise. They've got themselves into top 4 in the country at this point. And Cruz Lopez real nearby. So this is a pivotal tournament for each of these teams as they position themselves for a better seed as we head to nationals in Boston. So it's going to be kind of an intriguing matchup. You have the vet, you have the rookie. I'll call anybody in the first 2 or 3 years a little bit more of a rookie, Lauren and Vera. So it'll be fascinating how it plays out. And Cruz is really known as a strategist out there, whereas Niculescu, boom, she can hit a forehand like no other. She hits the snap roller overhead, crushes her return of serves, take any ball up the middle. But, she's playing with Ellie Halbauer, who's totally a different style of player than she's used to playing with. So as the matchup develops in this match, it'll be fascinating to watch and comment on it.
Yeah, and I mean, as I think for Halbauer and Cruz, what an amazing, and Lopez, what an amazing opportunity to play with, as you said, these 2, pillars of our game. Like, there's no way to get better faster than to play a season with someone with such a top player who's had so much experience, and I think it's moving these women along quickly.
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I get
Yeah,
it right.
their ascent in the game will just be, the trajectory will just be straight up for these women, regardless if they play this year or if they play with them next year again. But just having the benefit of just the management of a match, that someone who's a national championship, national champion in the past, like they know how to manage things. Gabby and Liz love managing these kinds of matches. And in the moment of truth, when there's a ton of pressure, the score is just intense toward the end of the sets, which I think it could be close, you'll see, that's where you'll see Niculescu and Cruz shine. Vera, how exciting for you to be part of this as one of the pros here at the Short Hills Club.
It's super.
I mean,
yeah,
what
super
an
exciting.
event, Vera.
It's a great event, the biggest paddle tournament in the country. We have over 450 teams participating.
Besides team nationals.
Well, absolutely. But definitely a huge deal for the club. We have Brian Skinner, the tournament director, along with other members and pros running the tournament, and huge thanks to Brian for putting together an amazing event and making sure everything goes smoothly. But yeah, we have over 450 teams playing over the course of 3 days. We're using 20 clubs in the area to make sure that we can accommodate all the matches. So this is definitely a big deal. And this match, Lauren and Patty, I totally agree with you. Interesting dynamic to see a very experienced player with very talented tennis players who now have taken up paddle and coach paddle and play paddle, and we'll see. I'm expecting a fight.
Yeah, and obviously Niculescu and Cruz come from a really strong background. They've just been around the sport for years, and I think about Niculescu and Cruz, and every year you look at how many finals of nationals these women have appeared, and I mean they are really among our game's best, and it's such a treat for Lopez and Halbauer, in my opinion, to be able to team up with them and gain the benefit, just the mental insights that they're going to get. Hopefully their ears are wide open, their eyes wide open, and
What country club
these
you
four
play
women will have a great match.
For sure.
What is it? Saddle?
Cruz and Niculescu,
Saddle and cycle club.
they actually won nationals together. Cruz, the three-time APTA national champ. She won in 15 with Hall of Famer Anna Brzova, and in 18 and 19 with Gabby Niculescu. They're very familiar with each other's games. Liz moved from, she was the pro at the Patterson Club up in Connecticut. She's moved out to Chicago, running the massive program out in Chicago, Seattle, Saddle and Cycle. And so she's played a lot with some of the other women out in the Midwest, which has been a great shot in the arm for Chicago women's paddle, in my opinion. And she's teamed up with B. Lopez, and you know a lot about B's game. So as we get into this match, we'll let you describe some of the strengths of her game.
Spin
And
for serve?
you guys played last year, got yourselves top 16 in the country.
Top
Okay,
14,
before
Patty.
we
Top
quick
14 in the country.
introduction.
I knew I was close.
Thank you.
And B has hit another stride, and that's the benefit. She plays a couple tournaments with Liz Cruz, and you're going to learn so much.
And it's great for Liz too, because B is
Guys,
very, very quick.
introductions.
And I think we'll see. Well, let's
Good
let the
afternoon,
umpire introduce
ladies
the
and
players.
gentlemen. Welcome to the 2024 Short Hills Invitational. This is the ladies' quarters finals match. On my left, playing out of Reading Country Club, Gabriella Niculescu. And her playing partner, playing out of Kenwood Country Club, Elizabeth Halbauer. On my right, playing out of Chicago and the Saddle and Cycle Club, Liz Cruz. And her playing partner, playing out of Roseland, New Jersey at Orange Lawn Country Club, B. Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, play well. "15, love."
Vera, you played with B. Tell us the two top things in her game.
I like that you guys mentioned already she is super quick.
Yeah.
Her physical aspect of the game definitely is a strength of hers. And she is uber competitive and zoned in at every point. So you know she will not be giving up, and she will not, to the best of her ability, be giving out any free points and errors. And she will try and hustle for every ball. She's a great partner to be playing with, and I think, we'll see what happens. Even if they try to pick on her, missed that one, but she's going to be looking for a big forehand drive that she likes to hit.
Yeah, I think she'll get plenty of looks out here, Lauren and Vera, today, because they know that Cruz typically will be a wall over there. Typical return to serve from Cruz, she'll kind of just block a short ball. She'll throw lobs off it, kind of a chip type of return to serve. But she's willing just to kind of try to place the ball, hit a series of shots that force the play over to Lopez in that ad court for that forehand you referred to.
All right, this is a strong start of the first game.
Right there, you could see Cruz through the lob up cross court, Lauren and Vera, and that's where she can create some uncertainty. And you just saw a little hesitation from Halbauer and Niculescu, but I'll be fascinated to see. And
40-15.
exactly
And what
that.
I've noticed
You knew the drive was
sorry,
coming, and Halbauer and Niculescu as a team they don't play traditional positioning from what I can see. They're doing it more like tennis, where they'll split the court in half. They don't cover the 2/3 as much as other top teams. And even right there, you could see Lopez came up with a great forehand shot that was a leg cord off the net. But they tend to play a little bit apart.
Niculescu,
I think
Halbauer.
because Halbauer plays a
They
lot
lead
of
the first
forehand
set,
volleys.
1 game to love.
Hasn't quite seen enough shots in the pressure moments against really good drives where if you're flipping your paddle back and forth, where you're going to get away with it. And I think as you get deeper in the draws against better women players, they're going to have to tighten up their positioning a little bit. Otherwise, I think someone like a Cruz is like the ideal person who can take advantage of that space between the players.
I think another thing to look for, and we saw it a little bit in the last game, is Gabby Niculescu is going to hit those hard rollers, and B. Lopez is gonna try to catch up with the ones that are at Liz Cruz, and we'll see how effective Gabby is at being able to go right out at Liz and not enable Lopez to be the one to play those balls.
Love, a 15, love.
One of my favorite things about the Cruz Lopez team is their energy, and obviously they speak the same language on the court. They communicate in Spanish mostly, and I definitely think it's a little bit of an advantage to have against some other teams where you can kind of communicate during the point, and other teams might not know what's going on, but also they just really are on the same page, and Liz Cruz is so supportive, and lets B do her thing, and I think their energy is unmatched. That's one of my favorite teams to watch in terms of their determination and their positivity on the court.
There it is.
Let's see
15 all.
the Niculescu overhead. Lauren, you and I have watched Niculescu play for years and years and years. How many free points does she get because of that? She just makes her opponents pay the price on a short lob. It just rolls it and will get those baseline players chasing that ball all day.
30,
I do feel like
15.
women have gotten faster and better at anticipating that overhead, and have taken a lot of the winners away from Niculescu on it. But it's going to be effective in this match if
40,
she can
15.
direct it right at Liz Cruz.
Right, and that's where Liz, I think, handles it a little better when she's playing in the deuce court than the ad court. And I think with Lopez's speed over there,
Game,
that Vera was
Cruz,
referring to,
Lopez.
I think she'll be able to run down those shots
First
a little
set
easier
tied,
than Liz
1
Cruz.
game apiece.
And that's what they do when they play. Cruz stays back and lets Lopez run those down, runs all the way across. So that's Lopez is fast enough to do that.
Liz is a good share. she knows the wisdom of letting your younger partner run for things.
15, love.
I almost thought that ball was going out.
Yeah, that was a close one.
The winner of this match will come up against the winner of the Burrs Urgoya Gio Tenza match, which is underway on the court right next to this one.
All right, we've seen this shot enough where it's fair to say this is a strategy at the net
30,
for Halbauer and
love.
Niculescu. They have now gone after Liz Cruz on the deuce side with a hard roller multiple times.
Fault.
Foot
Foot fault. 30, 15.
Tough call to make for an umpire. Sometimes makes you on the unpopular side for the players, but has to be done if she's stepping over the line.
30, all.
Yeah, and for an umpire, it's not a tough call. They just call it like it is, and you can't footfall. It's
Hard
simple.
to accept for the players. That's
Players
all I
have to
meant.
suck it up because
Absolutely.
it is. You gain an advantage if you foot fault, and so, you know, for Halbauer, she's not played that many matches with an umpire who's going to be on it.
40, 30.
You know, the whole time, so that'll be something to look at as well. It is disconcerting when you first get out there with umpires, and sometimes you'll be so focused on something that you might be stepping on the line, you don't even realize it because you're just focused on so many other things.
Niculescu, Halbauer. They lead the first set, 2-1.
And Lauren, I don't love that miss on game point right there from
Yeah.
Lopez because she missed wide. She really, the moment she hit the ball, it was out, and those guys knew it. And I just think you have to in order to be competitive and these long days of battling, go deep in the draw. You know, when it's game point against, you've got to put that ball in play. You've got to make them violent, especially with Halbauer coming in kind of wide from that half court.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, there's a lot of room in the middle for that return from Lopez if she could focus in on that spot.
And make her hit that forehand volley. That is a hard volley to make as a forehand.
And that's kind of something from tennis, I would say, carrying over. I have played with B and against her. And I have played with against Halbauer, and they definitely do get away with going for those outside spaces because they're obviously very talented. And but we'll see if the winner
is a big backhand drive from Halbauer. Nice.
Got great shot.
You know, last time a lot of these players competed was at the Atlantic Classic where it was about 0 degrees that day, and here we have the opposite at Short Hills. We have a beautiful, beautiful spring day here. I think we're going to get hit by a storm next week, but we're thankful for everyone who's put so much work into this that we have a beautiful day to play and spectate. And as you can see from her master shirt, that's Lopez serving. I love the names on the back of the shirts. That's Liz Cruz hitting the overhead with the white visor. Kelly Halbauer pulling the string on a two-handed backhand.
30-15.
Deuce court and three-time national champ Gabby Niculescu in the ad court.
Yeah, that's sitting up there, that serve. And Gabby's just...
I'm sorry? 15-40, my mistake, correct. Thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
You know, Niculescu made a nice adjustment on her return to serve and put that ball, just hit that dipping ball low in the middle. Really a tough shot to defend.
Game. Niculescu,
That's
Halbauer.
Niculescu. Look, if
They lead the first
this is a
set,
match where Halbauer just gets
3-1.
to stand in the back and drive and set up her partner, it's going to be a tough day for Cruz and Lopez. They have to make this more of a paddle match than a hitting match.
And I think they're just coming up a little bit short. Like it seems like they don't have the depth figured out, their range, I'll call it, on their volleys and their overheads quite yet.
15, low.
Halbauer and Niculescu have gotten a couple of nice looks in the early goings here. Almost too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a few too many quick points in a row, so hopefully Cruz and Lopez are thinking to slow this down right now and kind of make the points longer, take advantage of those gaps, like you mentioned, Patty, and Niculescu and Halbauer positioning, and create something from the baseline as the point goes on.
Yeah.
See, that's the matchup with Niculescu,
30.
which
Yep.
is the left of the two players at the net. I mean, that overhead, just I've seen it thousands of times.
And she's going to go at Cruz every time because she's the slower of the two of them, and she's definitely winning that battle. I mean, that's the strategy. So Cruz and Lopez
40
better be
love.
sure to lob better.
Game. Niculescu, Halbauer.
There's the big roller.
Volley is the proud sponsor of the APTA. As the first AI-enabled training experience, Volley modernizes racket sports by delivering the on-demand dynamic system for live play training and better workouts. Volley creates a community to connect pros and players while giving personalized performance insights to track progress and customize their practice. Ask your pro about a Volley lesson today. For more information, visit get.volley.com.
Ladies, 1 serving 4.
Obviously, this is a huge game for Cruz and Lopez. I feel like they've got to settle in a little bit. I feel that Halbauer and
Love, 15.
Niculescu are really confident here. And I think the lack of depth, like I said, on some overheads and some volleys and like that serve, Cruz doesn't really unload on her serve. And Halbauer, like I said, she turned pro when she was 15 years old. The woman's got game.
30.
Forehand, two-handed backhand, she can bring
Tommy.
the heat. And, you know, that's the thing. You look up and you have the pressure of Niculescu and the pressure off of either wing from Halbauer. That's daunting. And great play.
If I were
Lauren.
Lopez and Cruz, no, I would try somehow to make these points long. I don't think we've had any points longer than 10 shots.
30.
Right.
And they're letting Halbauer and Niculescu hit them off the court, which they shouldn't be able to do because Cruz and Lopez are too good of paddle players. So they have to figure.
15,
that's tough to
40.
defend against, but
That's
they
a
have
tough
to
one.
figure out how to make these points longer. And part of the way is going to be to lob better and to hit deeper, like Patty
Well, you got to
said.
hit a better serve. Cruz just put your
Yes,
serve
yes.
in, and these women are teeing off on it. And that's typically what you see from Cruz. I can't say she's a high swing speed server. And I think they're going to have to look on Australian, possibly considering staying back because Halbauer and Niculescu are, everything's going their way at this point in the match.
This looks like the first point where
Yeah.
Cruz and Lopez were able to move their opponents on the baseline a little bit more. This is a big
30,
game if they can
40.
come back from 540.
And see, right here we see the tactical adjustment. They're talking about it staying back. They'll leave Lopez to the left of Liz Cruz so that
30,
she's just
40,
on the
guys.
side
30,
she's
40,
playing,
ladies.
which is the ad court. They want her movement and court coverage over there, so they'll do it right off of the serve. And really, with Niculescu and Halbauer at the net, that's where I had some uncertainties, but
Game.
we haven't seen
Niculescu, Halbauer.
that
They
spot
lead
lobbing yet
the
from
first
that
set,
Liz Cruz is known
5 games
for.
to 1.
So, until Liz gets dialed in, it seems like a lot of her success as a player with her partners that she just has that placement and she just moves the shot. But it is warm, and she's floated a couple of lobs long here, a little uncharacteristic. And Halbauer Niculescu out of the gates, 5-1 start here in quarterfinals at Short Hills. See right there, Cruz dumped a sort of a push drive, I'll call it a Halbauer, where, if Cruz doesn't unload the pace, she really can't handcuff
Score confirmed.
Halbauer. Halbauer's got good enough
15,
hands that she can
love.
switch back and forth, forehand and
out.
backhand. But I think, if a Niculescu's drive was coming at Halbauer, which it can't, it's impossible, they're on the same team. But if it were, that's where she would run into problems. But the speed that
15 all.
Cruz hits, I'm not sure it will be effective against breaking down Halbauer. That's why Cruz breaks down opponents more with the spot lobbing and, a sequence of shots.
Yeah, until Cruz's lobs get more consistent and she starts giving B more looks. And B doesn't feel like she has to force all the pressure because the points are getting
15.
longer. I don't see this match turning around until then.
And you can see Cruz is concerned about her lobs. Like that lob went long because she was trying to make it good. Because if it's not a good lob, she's getting pummeled.
I just think if you get out there and you haven't played in the warm weather and all of a sudden you do, go for some height on some lobs and air it out. Go up above the lights because that will help you gauge the distance you have to hit that lob a little bit better, I think. And
Yeah,
again,
That one was
40,
too short.
15.
sure, and I think that Cruz is misplaying it position-wise. I'd like to, I think a tiny bit, because she's playing a little bit over close to the middle. I think she's going to have to go and stay on the outside and deter Niculescu from hitting her shot at them. Their overhead at them straight ahead. She's going to have to take it and make them hit a different shot. Wow.
Game.
Phenomenal
First
volley
set,
from Niculescu to go behind Cruz.
Halbauer, 6 games to 1.
Well, that was a quick set. We will hopefully we'll have a more competitive set coming up, and we will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel presented by MyPaddle.
At Corient, we believe wealth management begins and ends with you. Because the more personal the solution, the more powerful it is. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build and provide unlimited access to the collective and profound knowledge of experts across the country. It's time your wealth strategy was as sophisticated as you. It's time to join Corient.
Hello, this is John Weinlater with Volley, and we're here at the Philly Open having a great time. So exciting to be out here at the second Grand Prix event and seeing all the momentum that's being gathered this season. It's been great being a partner with the APTA, and we've been excited with all the momentum with Volley as well. And we're about ready to hit our half.
Good. Okay, let's play. Second set.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour. We are live from the Short Hills Club, bringing you the 2024
Love
Short Hills Grand Prix.
15.
The first set of this quarterfinal match went rather quickly to Halbauer and Niculescu and Patty and Vera. What do you think's going to happen here in the second set? Do you think
Love
Cruz and
30.
Lopez can turn it around?
What do you think, Vera? I'll let you go first.
I definitely think they can. Like we talked about the depth of both teams before the match started. And I do think Liz Cruz is struggling a little bit with getting adjusted to the warm weather paddle. But I know they have the capability to be able to turn it around. But obviously, they're not just the only team on the court. Halbauer and Niculescu are really tuned in and playing great and making the right shots at the right time. But I do hope to see a closer second set and potentially a third set. I would love to see a battle. Patty, what do you think?
I agree with everything you said, Vera.
I love when you agree with me, Patty. It's rare.
No, it's not rare.
I'll take the moments when it happens.
I just think Halbauer
Love 40.
and Niculescu are playing with extraordinary amount of confidence here.
Yes.
And I feel like the game's coming really easily to them, and they're getting so much easy offense. I don't feel like they're working super hard, and they're getting to pull the trigger on a pretty comfortable, forehands or backhands. Halbauer's posed a threat from both, as you can see. I kind of like Lopez getting to the left of these two players. I think she's got. I love Lopez's hands and her quickness out there,
15,
and I think
40.
maybe getting Cruz to do a little bit better job of closing in at the net and trying to defend those volleys a little bit better because they're getting hurt. They're not volleying very well in this match. So I think it comes down to you've got to get the depth, and then you've got to come up with the hands play, and look at that Niculescu, 2 spot drives right through the middle, and then spreading Lopez out there. That's what I love that Niculescu does. really purposeful, even though she comes with a huge amount of power. It's purposeful as well, and she's reined it in. I mean, when Niculescu started playing paddle, she would hit shots all over the place because she could on a tennis court, and now, you know, she zeroes in, and her accuracy on her drive is uncanny. As great a shot it is, it's also a hugely high percentage shot for her.
Well, that was a better point, right?
30,
They were able to,
40.
I mean, they have to be able to, like you said, volley better and withstand those drives and make this a paddle match. Make them hit a whole bunch of balls. Don't let them, don't
30,
let them
40.
play first strike paddle.
Right, and I think if, someone's going to have to get on top of the net, and I think it's got to be Cruz. But
Yes.
I don't think that's what she loves doing
Deuce.
either. Like right there, you saw her kind of looking to bail almost, maybe looking to take that ball off the back screen. But I do believe unless you can park someone on top of a net at times, you've got to figure out a way to handle, that horsepower coming from Niculescu and Halbauer here.
Yeah, I would love to see a play where perhaps Cruz stays up at the net and B. Lopez drops back and takes some of those drives from the back screen in the backcourt, because she's looking to drive more balls as well in this match that she hasn't gotten a chance to just yet, but hopefully they can get to that point if they want to make it closer.
See, Lopez did a good job of closing in on that volley there, and I just think because she does a better job of defending deep, I almost love watching Lopez when she's moving around and gets a lot of different shots. But Cruz is used to being in that role where she's kind of dictating play off her overhead from that left position at the net.
Advantage, Niculescu,
But I don't know.
Halbauer.
I don't feel like that's going to be effective for them to come back in this match. I feel like we need some B. Lopez time.
We do. Guess what, Patty? I agree with you this time.
You do?
We're in sync.
Excellent. I mean, I think she's hugely talented, and she's got that movement, quickness, and she can bring it a little bit. She brings a little kind of different heat on her overheads,
Deuce.
where Cruz doesn't hit that snap roller at all. And Lopez just pulled it out there, and I'm just saying for someone with Lopez's skill set and what she can bring, she can get more of those overheads and hit more of those rollers. That's going to help her forehand off the deck when she's back on the baseline. So that's why I just feel like I want her to get to the left and see what happens here.
Oh.
See, that was a great volley. Two great volleys from Lopez.
Great recovery on the baseline.
Just waiting for that one, and
Yep,
and Cruz is smart to try to
Niculescu,
it's so hard to
Halbauer.
block the ball that's hard, but she's not having any luck in chasing them down.
well, that's where I think instead of her standing there and going into a prayer position, she's got to. The moment she sees a short lob, she's got to take off to her right and start going up, and let Lopez cover any ball behind her. I feel like with this warm day, even Cruz could benefit by letting this ball drop a little lower like that. Really get a little more slash. Keep that ball a little lower to Halbauer. I feel like anything up high feeds right into Halbauer's wheelhouse on her ground strokes. Again, the big roller from Lopez. And a bigger shot from Niculescu.
Halbauer.
Yeah,
They
Niculescu
lead
loves
the
that.
second set.
She's looking to drive that backhand off the screen. She can produce offense
Game,
from almost any
Niculescu.
part of the court.
Tough break for Cruz Lopez. I mean, they did a better job that game of making the points longer, and but they still come away with 0.
Lauren, what's coming up on the
One
APTA
love.
Tour after the Short Hills event this weekend? What's ahead?
Well, there's Indianapolis and Philly
Love
and Nationals.
15.
So we're down to the wire.
It's getting close.
15 all.
Niculescu got a little lucky there with that volley. Could have been a nice love 30 start for Cruz Lopez, but here we are at 15 all.
Got one. Good.
Last season, we saw a ton of Niculescu playing with Roxy and Nika. They finished the year second in the country, got to the finals of nationals. And Nika is playing this year with Lalich, but unfortunately, Roxy and Nika's not feeling great. She's got a bum knee and struggling a little bit right now to feel good, and hard to play tournaments with depth if you're not feeling 100%. So hopefully Roxy feels better, and we'll see her at nationals in Boston. And again, the same play,
30-15.
the short lob. I think because, you know, I think Cruz has lost a lot of confidence, you guys out here. She's kind of standing around and not sure how to react to that at this point. You know, and I do think that Niculescu and Halbauer's
30-15.
overheads, the way, especially Niculescu's, is far more effective at Cruz in that deuce court. So it might be a time to consider switching during points and getting Cruz over into that ad court corner, only because Niculescu can't tee off and attack Cruz as much in that ad court. It's a big swinging shot from the right side and left side of her body, so it feeds perfectly into going into that deuce corner.
It's a good idea because there they go. Look at that, Patty, as if they heard you.
Liz Cruz has earbuds. She's listening to or talking about her.
It's almost like Liz Cruz, they can't lob when Cruz is in the deuce court, because as soon as a lob goes even a little bit short, both Halbauer and Niculescu are just slamming the ball at her, and she's you know, she's not reading it, or she's not catching up to it, or whatever it is. So if you take away the lob, it makes you pretty ineffective back there.
You see how far Cruz was sneaking over on Halbauer's overhead there? I think that's what's getting her in trouble.
Yeah,
I think right here she's got to go to her right. I think she should block lob that ball, go block lob up the line. You keep putting the ball a little toward the middle, cross court against Halbauer.
Game.
Niculescu, they're just crushing them.
Halbauer. They lead the second set, 2 games to love.
Yeah, if you don't want to get the ball back, lob it down the line, and that the player on the other side, it's much easier for them to go cross court. And
huge game right here coming up. I mean, a setup and 3-love lead would be almost
Love 2.
almost 80% of the match for Niculescu and Halbauer, but if Cruz and Lopez can turn around just a little bit right here, there will be still hope for them.
well, it might be tough for Halbauer. I mean, it's been so easy so far. You know, if it gets a little harder, that's always tricky. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, I was winning all these points so easily, but that's not showing any signs of happening yet.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to basics. I think Cruz and Lopez started out and just gave way too many offensive, opportunities to Niculescu and Halbauer. And Halbauer was my question mark. I never have a question mark about Gabby Niculescu. I know she's always going to bring it, but it seems like
No, she is bringing it.
Halbauer had enough looks that I feel like she's just oozing with confidence in this match.
I think Gabby,
again-
if it's possible, it's going to be a little harder than she normally does. Like, they're just cracking.
Right. And again, you see Cruz really struggling to decide which way to go on that.
30.
Lauren, you and I have called a million matches where, remember Niculescu playing with Andreikova up against Dardis and Shea many times, and Cynthia Dardis,
40.
over the course of 2 seasons, I remember her transformation and just gaining an amazing ability to just take off and go up that side screen and defend that shot. I think Liz Cruz has to go back to the videotape and watch that.
What a huge
Yeah, I mean,
point.
Cynthia Dardis, when she first started playing against
30,
Roxy and
40.
Nika and Gabby Niculescu, she looked
Nice
like
point.
shell-shocked. She had no idea what to do against those, and she figured it out to the point where she would get to all of them. It was really an amazing transformation.
Great point from Cruz and Lopez. They got a little let court help there. Let's see if they're able to stay in this game.
So this is a matchup right now of our current number 4 and 5 seeds in the country. There's a couple teams still ranked and have points from last year who are not active teams this year in Shea and Sutter, and we refer to Anika and Niculescu. So basically at this point we have Burrs Elliott with a slight edge over Hanish and Zabori. Morgan and Sikora have a couple tour wins. They've got themselves in the top 3 spots, and then we have Halbauer and Niculescu. Then our 5 through 8 currently Cruz Lopez, Delmonico Gebbia. Actually, Halbauer is so good, she's ranked twice in the country in the top 8. She's number 7 with Jill Jackson as well, and then Anika Lalich.
That is very impressive. Great get by Liz Cruz on that ball. It's the first forehand drive she was able to produce off that big roller.
A little spark for Lopez and Cruz here.
Yeah, they play their best when they're vocal, when they're calling the ball for each other. There's smiles, there's energy. It's hard to do when you're losing so many games in a row, so this might be the one that helps them come back into it. Wow. I think after watching this match, I know what I'm going to be working on after I get healthy.
Head out.
I'm going to be cracking those rollers.
Line.
And it's all about the first step, right? If you take a step backwards or a step sideways, you're sunk. Got to go right forward.
Especially in the swarm, sure.
And again, you know, I can't remember a match where I've seen Cruz miss this many long lobs. It's just, you know, usually she's, you know, pretty damn close to perfect on her lobbing and able to move them around and create a lot of offensive looks, but she's not confident at all with them today.
And she's so afraid to lob short. I mean, there's so much pressure on her to hit a good lob.
Games to love.
Yeah, just an outstanding performance so far from Niculescu and Halbauer. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I'm not surprised that they're putting on such a good performance, but I really thought this would be a closer match. And they're just taking the paddle out of Cruz and Lopez's hands.
Yeah, and I think this shows you the importance of, you know, playing your part to the best of your ability. Once Liz Cruz's game of being able to be very consistent and Patty, like you said, spot those lobs.
Free love.
Kind of was taking it out of her hands. Now there's not much that B. Lopez can do on her own as well. So both players have to come back on the same page where if Cruz is able to turn this around and get more consistent within the next 10 to 15 minutes, then there's still a chance, but only then.
Well, and you say 10 to 15 minutes, in a way, that's, you know, Cruz, I think, over the years, Lauren, you and I have seen a lot of her being able to lengthen things because of her lobbing and just play some really long points when things are not going your way. But it just seems like they can't lengthen the points here at all.
They're just under too much pressure, and that the inability to lob well enough is just like you said. It's forcing these crazy errors from Liz Cruz that you never ever see. But she's so afraid to lob short, and I don't blame her. She's just getting pummeled.
And that produces B. Lopez going for too much of her drives.
Yeah,
it's all connected.
But that's where Lopez needs to play within her own self. Like
Niculescu,
as a team, they're going down fast here individually.
They lead the second set.
Lopez
they're
has
just pressing. They're so frazzled. They're pressing, and instead of making the points longer, they're just ending them, and it's just a disaster for Lopez and Cruz right now. They have to slow down.
Well, and a big thing in this game is, you know, we talked about the overhead that you see Niculescu has just mastered in the sport. And Nika always hit that over the years. You know, I think about, you know, Zabori can hit that shot, and
Macy Elliott.
Macy Elliott unloads on that shot, and you know, it all feeds your confidence as a player. And I mean, this is an awesome performance by Halbauer Niculescu.
Wow, right in the line.
$15, $30.
You know, Halbauer was pretty far back on that, and that's where Lopez, I'd prefer to see her cut that ball off, not let it go in, and sometimes when that ball's headed to the nick, and, you know, you get caught out a little bit, you know, and it would help set up her forehand as well. Like, she can kind of, she has the movement. She's got to take advantage of what she can do over there when she gets the opportunity. Right now you can see she's a little exasperated. I'm not sure she, you know, she's trying to think, what is it that they can do here? You know, they've got to pull a rabbit out of a hat here really fast.
I mean, I think this is the smart play, right? Try to get Halbauer in the corner, but not like that. And to Halbauer's credit, you know, she's not letting herself get into any positions where she has to play any difficult screens. They're just her offense has been too good, and she's been able to take advantage of it.
Game.
You know, again,
Niculescu, Halbauer. They lead the second set, 5 games to love.
In collaboration with the APTA, Fusion is at the forefront of personalized gear and apparel. Backed by a team of seasoned industry experts, we provide exclusive access to high-end products from top-tier retail brands, all poised for customization with your club logo, team name, or corporate branding. Our streamlined approach guarantees a hassle-free shopping experience complemented by custom online storefronts and swift ordering. Visit www.gearbyfusion.com and let Fusion seamlessly weave your branding into elite merchandise.
Well, it may be too late for Cruz and Lopez to do anything here, but I think they will certainly learn a lot from this match. It's just been, they've just been a bit overwhelmed, and they haven't been able to slow it down or make Niculescu and Halbauer uncomfortable at all.
And I love how Halbauer and Niculescu are up 6-1, 5-0, and they're talking about this game, and they know how important it is to close it out right here.
5
The
love.
first chance you get. They're tuned in.
that's a good point, Vera. They're totally mentally appear to be on the same page. And
love 15.
watch out, everyone, when Niculescu and Halbauer are on the same page.
Yeah.
Love 30.
Boy, is Liz Cruz going to have nightmares.
15-30.
Yeah, if I'm Liz Cruz, I'm walking forward and getting on the first flight home after the next match.
Coming up at 4 o'clock, we'll have lots of exciting quarterfinal action on the men's side. Durant Mitchell are in the quarters, and they are going to play against Boston Rams, who just pulled out a 6-4, 6-7, 6-3 win over
30
three-time national champs together, Broderick and Palmer. Christian West up against Humphreys, Osis Koning. Burris Nunez, McNerney and Powers. Hanson Wright have gotten through, and they're up against Fraser Morgan, our tournament number 2 seeds. That'll be action following women's quarters.
Match point.
Liz Cruz has my permission to break something later if this match ends with another big roller on her side.
Here it comes.
Oh God, no. This
Game,
is
match.
It was a fitting way. It was a fitting way for that
Halbauer,
match to end.
6-1.
Right, it ended the way it started.
truly did.
Lopez had no answers. Halbauer and Niculescu were too dominant. And it'll be interesting to see in their next match if they can continue that play or if somebody can figure out how to keep them from doing it.
Yep. Well, Lauren, that was fun. Nice calling the match with you. Good job, Vera.
Yes, nice to be with you both. And that's a wrap from the Short Hills Grand Prix women's quarterfinal. We'll be back at 4 o'clock with men's quarterfinals.
Thank you, Lauren.
Hi everyone, my name is Vera Bisanova. I'm the head pro from Short Hills Club in New Jersey, and today I have a tip on driving for you. Quite often I see players staying open with the weight on the back of their feet, which makes them be off balance. But if you can turn sideways, now you can bring your power forward with you on the drive. I'm Vera Bisanova. Hope this helps you with your drives, and good luck.
At Corient, we believe wealth management begins and ends with you. Because the more personal the solution, the more powerful it is. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And provide unlimited access to the collective and profound knowledge of experts across the country. It's time your wealth strategy was as sophisticated as you. It's time to join Corient.